Hi, this is Kerry Artag with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Friday, August 25th, 2023. Before I click through the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already and share the content with friends and colleagues. Also, become a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Apple report, daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near term investor, always looking for 20% moves or more on those underlying stock picks. We also offer a 5-day free trial up front. So if you sign up for Wicked Stocks and become a member and check everything out for 5 days, if you don't like what you see, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So let's check out the charts. Let's start with the big picture and just remind you that 3-4 months ago, we settled above a meaningful longer-term channel top that was really a descending flag at the top of an all-time high, 168.67. We are easing back to it, or at least in the process thereof, and it can absorb selling through the rest of the year and possibly through next year, because above which, or once tested, this market can round back up to 225.23 over the months ahead. Not by the end of this year any longer, but certainly by some point next year, and we'll be obviously covering that on a week-by-week basis. Now, on the way down, we did have a meaningful sell signal that did occur a couple of weeks ago below the 183.29 channel bottom. And this formation can still contain buying through next week. And from here, we can fall within 2 to 3 weeks to the targeted still 168.87 long-term channel top. So we've come close to reaching 183.29 or this formation over the last couple of days, but we haven't actually tested it. And below which, once again, we can fall over the next 2 to 3 weeks or less to 168.67. Now that less would likely come if we settle today below 174.69. This channel top, almost 2 weeks in the making, able to contain session weakness. We settled above it Tuesday of this week. We got a nice pop to the upside on Wednesday, gave it all back on Thursday. It is still there as a level that may well contain session weakness. I could zoom in a little bit here and show you here. 174.69 can contain session weakness, above which 178.32 is in reach today. Nothing more than the low of the high. Wednesday's low was 178.32. We can top out there on an intraday, potentially daily basis. If we push through 178.32, especially if we were to open above 178.32, which is probably a bit of a stretch, but it may well occur. And if it does, pushing or opening above 178.32 does actually allow 183.29 intraday. 183.29 able to contain buying through next week, and once tested 168.67 in reach within a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of that. Options traders, as we push into the 183.29 level, if you like playing both sides of the market, you may then reach for 168, 169 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a couple of weeks. You might go a month out on that. And inversely, if we were to fall and test 168.67, you could reach for 185 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least several weeks, maybe a month out on that as well. That is the two-sided framework as we move into later September. Once again, if we do, well, let's go with breaking 174.69 today. If we break or open below 174.69, 171.96, the low from last week in reach today, and then closing below 174.69 should actually yield at 168.67 long-term channel top over the following 3 to 5 days, where once again we can bottom out through the rest of the year, and above which a long-term buy signal remains in effect. This despite the sell signal that occurred near term a couple of weeks ago below 183.29. Let's cover the upside a little bit more. I do want to mention once again, pushing or opening above 178.32, the low of the high from last Wednesday, does allow 183.29. That would be quite a rally, but it is certainly possible. And if we test 183.29, we can top out there through next week. Keep that in mind. 3 to 5 day swing traders, by the way, are still buying 174.69 184.69 and taking profits at 183.29, and selling a settlement below 174.69 and taking profits at 168.67. Now, if over the coming 3 to 5 days the market rallies and settles above 183.29, we do have, well, I want to show the proper image actually, and it is here. We do have this narrowing range of resistance all the way up to 187.47. I do want to call this a range now, especially as we move into later next week. It all comes together later next week in the mid 180s. Now, this is the area. So the way I would frame this is we're still heavy into September below 183.29, still anticipating 168.67 over the next 2 to 3 weeks or less. And inversely, we turn bullish decidedly through September if we can close above 187.47, then anticipating this 206.48 rising channel top within probably 3 to 5 weeks of closing above 187.47. So, I've been saying that yes, a mere settlement above 183.29 is considered at least a neutralizing of that sell signal, and with that, probable continuation to the upside as we move into later year. But in terms of an accelerated move, in terms of a go with move on strength, that would be above 187.47. I don't think we have anything. I don't think we're going to see a settlement today above 183.29, and then we have to play with the 187.47 level as we move into next week. I think this is all going to converge together by the time we see it again, but I could be wrong. So what I will say is if you're short below 183.29, you should cover that position if we close above 187.47. That is your worst case upside stop loss that I can see, because under that scenario, we have a 3 to 5 week rally into the low 200 area where we could top out actually through the rest of the year, perhaps. I think I have said all there is to say. I'll leave you with this image today, Friday, and I don't really need to say any more than I already have. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of that 5-day free trial. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Apple. You have a great weekend.